a real good feeling. Got a right now, 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 right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today, so we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the war out there. The government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest in everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, Bitcoin has turned on inertial dampeners, turned on the anti-gravity generator, and we are now prepared for hyperspace. Bitcoin has rallied $5,000 in about 48 hours. And it's very interesting because I made a video yesterday around 4 or 5 p.m. that went up, and Bitcoin was trading at 31.5. And I said, look, guys, Bitcoin is probably, I believe that Bitcoin is going to break above 31.8. And then I said within minutes, maybe hours, I even made that little facial expression, Bitcoin would probably be trading at 34 to 35. Lo and behold, took us about an hour to get to $35,000. That's exactly where we rallied to. That's basically where we are today. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about that rally that we have been predicting ever since March. In March, I made a video titled How a Clock Will Send Bitcoin to $50,000. And in that video, I laid out an end-of-year price target between $35,000 and $50,000. And I said, at the latest, this will happen by the end of by the end of quarter one next year, moving into the halving. But more than likely, it will happen sometime in quarter 4 of 2023. It has now occurred. We have gone to $35,000. We have hit our end-of-year price target with 2 months to go. We've broken above the yearly high, and we are in prime territory to begin a bull market. I think it may be just a little bit too early to declare a new bull market, but it is very, very, very close, and that's the way that I and many industry participants are talking about it. Now, I want to share something with you just to kind of start with that you're probably not going to hear very often that I think is relevant. Being a participant in the industry, being that I know many of the people that you know in the industry, and being that I know many of the major companies that you know in the industry, I have a finger on the pulse. I have a gauge of what the sentiment is like in the cryptocurrency space. And one thing that I can tell you is that the companies seem to be very excited about where we're going. The individuals seem to be very excited about where we're going. The market as a whole seems to be very, very excited about where we are going. And I must admit, I am very excited about where we are going as well. I'm a little bit confused because something seems to be going on with YouTube. It doesn't seem like it pushed the stream out to everybody the way that it normally would. So people might trickle in a little bit slower than normal, but that is okay. Shout out to everyone in chat. Mike Lowry was first today. He is a moderator of the chat, and he has also been a member of the Jebi Council for quite some time. He said, good morning, it's my birthday, so I know it's going to be a good day. It is a good day. I am very excited about today for so many reasons. Today is just a very, very good day. Personally, professionally, it's been a very good day, and I'm really looking forward to today. Darren K is in chat, said, hi, Mike. Michael23 said, hello all from the Philippines. The Red Roadster is in chat. Satchet321 is here. I have the Beholders in chat. Michael23 is in chat. 48K Bitcoin on Fibonacci 61.8. We're going to talk about all of that and more in today's episode. But let's first start off with the reason that this rally occurred in the first place, and then we'll analyze more. Let's back up to June of this year. The Securities and Exchange Commission was coming after Binance, and they were coming after Coinbase. They were also coming after CZ personally for operating unregistered securities exchanges. Now, we know that that is a lot of malarkey, because the problem with those accusations is that the Securities and Exchange Commission was not set up over cryptocurrency. The Securities and Exchange Commission, under Gary Gensler, believes that they have jurisdiction over cryptocurrency because of the Howey test. The issue is the Howey test, which essentially is a test that was created during a Supreme Court case back in the 1930s, tells us whether something is an investment contract, which is the technical term for a security. The problem is, it was written in 1933, I think it was, maybe 34. When that was written, cryptocurrencies did not exist yet. So when you look at the Howey test that was created in 1946, I'm sorry. It's 10 years newer than I thought it was. Apologies for that. When you apply something like the Howey test to the cryptocurrency market, you end up with a lot of confusion because cryptocurrencies did not exist and they were not part of the conversation that led to the Howey test creation. Nobody that works at the SEC, other than that really, really, really old person helping them do paperwork, was around when the Howey test was created. So there needs to be a new classification. Anyway, June, you have Gary Gensler and his Securities and Exchange Commission come against Coinbase and Binance, and that caused a crash on Bitcoin. It freaked people out because the SEC was coming down hard. That was this candlestick right here back on June 5th and 6th. I made a video back then about how the SEC had declared war on cryptocurrency, and that is nothing short of the truth. Now, a week later, someone that is even more powerful than Gary Gensler, yes, you heard that right, Larry Fink and BlackRock came out announcing that they were going to launch a Bitcoin spot ETF, and they were seeking regulatory approval. BlackRock essentially created the ETF space, and through their iShares program and through some algorithms that they created in the 1990s, they quickly rose to prominence in ETF trading and investing. And so they're basically the biggest name in ETFs. They essentially created the modern ETF space, and they've only ever had one ETF denied out of 478, I think it is, applied for. So when they announced that they were going to be applying for a Bitcoin spot ETF, that was pretty much game over, game, set, match. Eventually, we're going to get one because Larry Fink and BlackRock managed $10 trillion in the global economy. So that led to a massive rally, but the issue is we had to get approval. So then that went silent for a time. A week and a half ago, last Monday, Cointelegraph put their foot in their mouth. I'm sorry, Cointelegraph. I love you. I love your artwork and all that. But you did. You put your foot in your mouth, whoever did that, and Bitcoin exploded up to $30,000 on the fake news that a Bitcoin spot ETF had been approved. But here's the deal. The fact that we rallied $2,000 in 8 minutes was actually extremely bullish for the market. So in a way, Cointelegraph did screw a lot of people out of money. But in another way, they also made a lot of people a lot of money, because I'm not sure this rally would be happening right now if not for that. So in a roundabout way, thank you for the byproduct of the accident, Cointelegraph. Even though, of course, $100 million were lost in that moment. When the market rallied that aggressively, we found that, wow, sheesh, there's a lot more on the sidelines than we thought there was. And Bitcoin began a rally. And that brings us to yesterday, and yesterday's news that broke us above 31.8. Remember, 31.8 was the yearly high. That is the level that we rallied to back when the XRP case was settled, for the most part, in favor of Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, the co-founders of Ripple. When that case was settled, Bitcoin went through a little rally, and then we crashed because it wasn't enough to sustain things. About a week ago, we talked about this last week, we saw that the final charges against Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse were dropped. So the SEC is actually fully out of the XRP case, out of the Ripple case right now, and they may try something again in the future, but they're going to have to go at it from a different angle because they've dropped those current charges. So the underlying sentiment in cryptocurrency was already very, very good leading up to yesterday's October 23rd rally. And then we saw some further news, and I want to talk on that a little bit, and it has to do with the Bitcoin ETF. First and foremost, let's go ahead and welcome everyone else who has joined us this morning. The Normal Austin is in chat, said good morning. The Crypto Carnivore said, GM, brother, God bless you and your family. TUI Enterprises is in chat. Thank you very much for that blessing, Crypto Carnivore. Father, help us to be able to decipher what the charts are telling us and help us to understand where the markets are going and help us to honor you through all of it. In the Lord's name. Let's continue. Queen is in chat, said hashtag FinSov. Queen said, seeing green, smash the likes. Jeb, where are the spikes? That rhymed really well. Let's see. I got a little bit right now. I didn't quite do my hair the way that I was supposed to yesterday, so that might be what you're referring to. Anyway, let's continue here. There is a certain process that you have to go through when you file a Bitcoin ETF. And one of the things that led to the sudden jump on Bitcoin yesterday was BlackRock listing its Bitcoin ETF on the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation database with the ticker IBTC, probably short for iShares BTC. iShares is the name of their ETF brand. BlackRock also updated its filings with the SEC, indicating a readiness to seed the ETF starting from October of 2023. I'll read you a direct quote. This proactive approach from BlackRock suggests their preparedness to initiate trading promptly upon receiving approval from the SEC, further substantiating the optimistic sentiment surrounding an impending approval, said Matteo Greco, a research analyst at Finicchia, in a morning note. So there's quite a lot that's going on here, but to decipher what the legalese speak means from everything that I just said, what we are looking at is that BlackRock, again, I need to stress this, the largest company in the ETF game, period. By the way, if you're enjoying, hit the likes. The largest game in the ETF, period. The player that created the ETF game. One of, if not the most powerful companies in the entire world, a company that many regard to be far more powerful than just about any national government, potentially even more powerful than the United States government in some regards because of their influence on culture, especially through the ESG, environmental, social, and governance scores that they give out. BlackRock is extremely powerful, and they're taking steps right now to prepare the Bitcoin ETF for when it is approved. And it does seem that they are taking steps that indicate that they believe that it is a when, not an if. They are taking steps that when the Bitcoin ETF is approved, that they will be able to properly run that Bitcoin ETF. And that is very, very exciting. Many people are using the phrase anti-gravity on Bitcoin because we've rallied so far, and some are even predicting a $50,000 to a $75,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. I think the $75,000 by the end of the year is a little bit aggressive, but I could see Bitcoin rallying all the way up to $50,000 by the end of the year. Our initial prediction was 35 to 50. So we've actually just broken into the very bottom of the prediction that we made earlier on this year. Fabiera is in chat, said, good morning, Jeb. Crypto Mini Bikes in chat. Back to the grind. Home from the cabin part of there. Good deal. Satchet's in chat, said, alt season soon. I do believe so. We'll talk about that a little bit. Ivan Cunanan is in chat. Good morning, Sir Jeb. Thank you. Herman Barba is in chat, said, good morning, Queen, saying flight to quality. Yes, if you remember, Larry Fink is one of the major proponents of Bitcoin right now because somebody, I think it may have been Michael Saylor, I'm not sure, somebody orange pilled him because he thought that Bitcoin was the biggest scam that was ever created like 3-4 years ago. But he's been convinced now, and so that's wonderful for the industry. Let's do some charting. Bitcoin rallied above 31.8 yesterday in spectacular fashion, and as we said in that video, it's so funny because the video that I made about us breaking up to 35, I made it right. It went out right here, and I said that Bitcoin's probably going to break above 31.8 today, maybe in a week or two, but probably relatively soon. And if it does, within minutes, maybe hours, Bitcoin will be at 34 to 35. And you can see within an hour of the breakout, we were trading at 34.2. So Bitcoin did very, very well yesterday and rallied all the way up to 35.2. Something that we are quite excited about. From there, we've been trading sideways, and this is important to note. Bitcoin did not rally to 35.2 and then flash crash down to 30. No. Bitcoin managed to hold up here. And this is really starting to look like the cliff face of the Grand Canyon rather than a peak on one of those fancy mountains out west as well. It's really starting to look like Bitcoin is going to stay up here. So, what are some of the things that could have called this rally? Well, one of the major implications was the fact that we had a a bullish cross on MACD above the zero line. That is remarkable. It's not very often that you have a buy signal on MACD above the zero line while you're in an uptrend. There have been a couple of times that we've seen buy signals above the zero line while the market was in a kind of a downtrend. And sure, we went through small rallies from there, but the market was already in an uptrend. We see a buy signal come in, and then we blast off. That's the first time that's happened this year. That is unprecedented in the year of 2023. Furthermore, looking at the daily chart RSI was already pushing up to 70, so we knew that something was preparing. Even before we went through this massive rally yesterday, many days ago, we broke above 70, and I had been calling the alarm. I've been sounding the alarm. Something is happening here, guys. It's very possible that we're about to rally all the way up to 31.8, if not all the way up to 35, and that's what happened. And again, we knew that 35 would be a major level to contend with because $35,000, if we just go ahead and draw a line right here, is representative of some of the lows that we had back over here in the beginning of the bear market. We pulled back down to 35K right here just before the war in Ukraine, and then right after the war in Ukraine as well. We double bottomed at 35K. We knew that 35K was a level. We've been talking about 35K for a year on the channel. So it is absolutely no surprise that we are seeing market move up to $35,000. The other thing to consider is that yesterday, when we were sitting up above 31.8, we had this major ascending wedge that we've talked about ad nauseum. And shown on the chart ad nauseum, Bitcoin was rallying through the top of that. And when you break bullish out of an ascending wedge, which is typically a bearish formation that typically 70% of the time will drop you, that means that you are in bullish territory. Now, several other things I want to run through quickly, and then we'll talk about what they mean next. We had a cross above the from the 20 EMA moving above the 200 SMA. That's always bullish, and it actually oftentimes has an alignment somewhat similar to MACD. That's a pretty important movement. We were above the 20 EMA. Looking on the daily chart, Lux Algo, we can also see that we had a buy signal come into play all the way back over here. It originally had a price target. If we roll it back, we originally had a bullish price target from that Lux Algo buy signal right here from 29.3 to 31.8, and we were pretty confident that we would hit that. Again, let's just show you how far back that Lux Algo buy signal actually went, because if you don't have Lux Algo, I need to break some news to you. You are missing out, and I think you're making a mistake by not getting it, because if you're an actual professional trader in this market, or if you're an investor, if you work in this market full time, if you're just an observer and you're interested in it, Lux Algo is worth every penny. You can see the buy signal comes in here. This is what I call the golden signal. The golden signal from Lux Algo. Buy signal, trend catcher confirm. Let's turn the other moving averages off so it's not as confusing. You see buy signal, that's what this thing's called. It's called a buy signal. See the green trend catcher, that's this little line right here. Go into Lux Algo, go into the settings, go to inputs. It's called trend catcher. It's right here under inputs, indicator overlay, trend catcher. Boom, there it is. When you see those two agree, then that is a confirmed signal. Whether you see the buy signal first and then trend catcher turn green second, or you see trend catcher turn green first and then you see the buy signal second, I don't care. So long as they're both in play, whichever the second one is to come in to confirm that they're both in agreement, if you're tracking with me there. For example, we saw a green trend catcher, then we saw the buy signal come in, so now they're both in agreement from this day forward. Then that's what we call the confirmation. It does happen sometimes where you'll see the buy signal and then trend catcher will turn green later. When it turns green is the confirmation. In that case, it wouldn't be the buy signal, it'd be the trend catcher turning green. So whichever one happens second, that's when you have the confirmed buy signal, golden signal. We saw the golden signal come in here because trend catcher turned green first. Excuse me, guys. I am very, very sick, but there's work to be done, so we got to keep on going here. This buy signal came in, trend catcher is green, and we get the take profit out of the buy signal. Take profit is up here. If you run it forward, it takes about 3 weeks, but we ended up getting up there. You can see that happened yesterday. Then the take profit updates. Once you hit the take profit once, it updates again, and that moved pretty quickly. So let me show you that again. It's going to be kind of hard to see, but you will be able to see it. We hit the take profit here. Yesterday, as soon as we get up here, again, it's hard to see because this would have happened in real time, but the replay won't let it happen because it won't show it because it happened so quickly. At this point, when the market was right here, you would have seen the take profit jump up here. You can see the take profit jumps all the way to 35.4. And if you'll notice, we went to 35.2. That's exactly where we went. So we went through the first take profit, which for 3 weeks was sitting up there like, really? We're going to go that far? And then it updates to 35.4 yesterday. And then we think, really? It's going to go that far? And we think back, wait a minute, Jeff did say in March that we were going to go to 35 by the end of the year, so maybe we will. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. We went to 35.2. And I do believe that we'll go higher. I don't think we're quite done with this rally yet, although I would caution you, we're probably mostly done with this rally, at least for a time. We've rallied 31% in 10 days. This has so far been a $8,000 and $8,000 rally. The rallies that we've seen so far this year were $6,750, as you can see there. We saw a rally of $9,000 here, and we saw a rally of $7,300 here. This is one of the largest rallies that we've seen so far this year. It's one of the fastest appreciations in price that we've seen to date in Bitcoin. in the beginning of this bull market. And it absolutely does indicate that we're going into a bull market. I want there to be absolutely no minced words about it. And you can quote me on it. And look, I could be wrong. And I could be putting my foot in my mouth like a lot of people have done, like the intern from Cointelegraph has done. But I do believe this is a very early sign, not even so much very early, but an early sign that a bull market is coming. I do believe that the bull market is coming in 2024. I have been telling you for over 2 years that the bull market is coming in 2024. I've been telling you for over 2 years that a couple of things are going to come together in confluence. First and foremost, you are going to see the effective federal funds rate pause. In November 1st, we're going to see that it's going to pause, and it'll probably stay at 5.25. It might go up to 5.5. The effective federal funds rate is going to pause. QT is going to stop. We're going to see the halving take place, and the cycle is going to move forward, and Bitcoin is going to be able to go into a bull market starting especially in quarter 1, quarter 2 of next year. We'll be hitting all-time high by the end of 2024. You've heard so many people, by the way, if you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button. Let's get to 100 likes. You've heard so many people lay out how they believe the market is going to go back to all-time high. And I want you to know that what I believe and what I have shown and what's been true so far is that we were going to have to break through the pre-halving phase we're going to have to break through the transitionary zone. That's between 25,236 and 28,545. We're going to have to break through that, get away from that confidently, then break up to 35 to 50, get into that zone. Around that time, we'll go through the halving. After the halving, we'll go into bull market. We'll be back at all-time high by the end of 2024, maybe quarter 1 of 2025. That has not changed. That has been the exact same mantra I've been sharing with you for a year, and it is playing out right now, and I fully believe that it's going to continue. So, is this the beginning of the bull market? I believe that it is. I would want to see a little bit more before I say that it is for sure the beginning of the bull market, but I do believe that Lux Algo, our technical analysis, my understanding of the macroeconomics and the geopolitical landscape of the world right now all indicate together that we are going to see a bull market forming right now. So let's read chat and then we'll keep talking about that. Mike Lowry said, second bull run here. I might have to get Lux Algo this time around. Can you use it with the non-paid version of TradingView? Yes, Mike Lowry, you absolutely can. Nothing to do with the paid version of TradingView. You can absolutely use it with the non-paid version of TradingView. That being said, if you guys are interested in the paid version of TradingView, it is nice to have, and I do have an affiliate link in the description box down below. I don't mention it very often because a lot of times people don't sign up for the paid version of TradingView. But if you're interested in getting the paid version of TradingView or Lux Algo, both of those links are in the description box down below. Trying to pull it up right here. Great. We've got Ryan Reynolds here. There we go. Boom. We've got Ryan Reynolds bringing some ad revenue into the channel. Thank you, Ryan Reynolds, for your Mint Mobile ads. They are absolutely hilarious. Lux Algo link is right here. Sign up using coupon code JEB30 for 30% off. Then I do believe that we have TradingView Premium link right here. If you're interested in signing up for TradingView Premium, that's there too. All right. So let's go ahead and read chat just a little bit, and then we will continue. And yes, happy birthday to Mike. Definitely have been in an early bull market this entire year. Yes, I've been calling this the pre-halving phase of the bull market since January. The pre-halving phase of the bull market historically is not as bullish as the bull market that happens post-halving, but it is still very bullish indeed. And I definitely believe that we are in this phase of the bull market. After the halving, we will be in this phase of the bull market. So the more you load up now in cryptocurrency, the better off you will be. And I'm going to be teaching you a lot more than just technical analysis this bull market. I'm going to be teaching you about personal finance on another channel that I want to start. I'm going to be teaching you about investment strategies and how to plan and execute profitable trades here on the Crypto Jeb channel. We're going to be launching courses. I've got a course I'm working on right now. Very excited about it. I'll just go ahead and announce it. Why not? Today's a good day. It is going to be called Jeb's Oversimplified Crypto Survival Guide. And I'm working on it right now, and I want it to be out by Thanksgiving. I'm not sure I'll be able to get it out that quickly, but I am trying to get it out so that when the bull market kicks into full swing and you're trying to bring people in, you can say, listen, take this, you'll be good. This will get you started in crypto. And in the first 30 days, if you do the things that Jeb teaches you in this course, you will be ready to make some money in the cryptocurrency space, and it will be a jumping off pad for you. So look forward to that. Again, that will be called Jeb's Oversimplified Crypto Survival Guide. Tell me if anybody gets the reference in that name. I had to, guys. I'm a dad now. I was big on the dad jokes before I became a dad, but now I just have to. Really stupid question. Probably not, Lewis. How does a blow-off top look? How does a blow-off top look like? Sure, great question. Blow-off top, best example would be the 20K run on December 16th, 2017. It was back when I first got into the cryptocurrency space. Bitcoin went through what we would call a blow-off top. Go ahead and remove our, here, let's see. They moved it, and I never change off of log. Let's see. Well, that's fine. Leave it right here for now. All right, anyway. If you look over here at if you look over here at 2017, this is what we would call a blow off top. Rallied, 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 rallied aggressively. Here's the button I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for right there, regular. Rallied aggressively all the way up to 20K, and then boom, crashed, and we're all the way back down at 10 within 5-6 days. That's a blow off top, where you have so much building up to the market's top, and then when you get up there, there's just nothing left to sustain it, because all of the... Let me put it this way. To sustain a market and to keep it buoyant, you need bullish pressure. But to send a market to the upside in a rally, you need bullish pressure. You need buy pressure. If you use all of the buy pressure to move the market to the upside, then you have none to hold it at that level. So it's much more sustainable for a market to go through a rally gradually and then keep some bullish pressure in reserve so the market doesn't collapse. Let's use an example of a hot air balloon. If you use all of your gas to get the hot air balloon all the way up to altitude, but you run out of gas, then you're going to slowly float right back down. And that's not good for anybody. In fact, that can kill you if you're in a hot air balloon. So you want to make sure that you don't use up all of your fuel getting to altitude, that when you get to altitude, you have nothing left to keep you at altitude. And that is the best way that I can describe a blow off top. We used all of the bullish pressure to get to 20K, and there was nothing left to keep us at 20K. And so we went into a massive bear market that was absolutely brutal. We saw Bitcoin go down to $3,000, $3,100. We saw Ethereum go down to $60. I bought Ethereum back there. I'm very glad I did. Still have some of that Ethereum. And the market ended up going through another bull market, but we saw more blow off tops. Blow off top right here. The market looks a lot different if you don't have log chart on, doesn't it? These are both examples of blow off tops. Massive rallies, massive crashes. It looks a lot more forgiving if you put it on log chart, which is what we normally do analysis on. But those are blow off tops. And that's actually a very important question, and why I give it so much attention, because also because, thank you, Lewis, for the question. But part of the reason that is such an important topic is because we need to kind of analyze whether this is a blow off top. Has Bitcoin gone through a blow off top right now, or does Bitcoin have enough bullish pressure to keep us at altitude? I would be inclined to say that it actually probably does have enough bullish pressure to keep us at altitude. And part of the reason for that is that I say that is because of the trend so far this year. Bitcoin's been going through massive rallies, then trading sideways, then massive rallies, then trading sideways, then massive rallies, then trading sideways, and then maybe slowly, gradually going through corrections. But this time is different. The SEC has completely lost all the charges against Ripple. They've completely lost all the charges against Grayscale. They've not appealed the Grayscale case. I don't know how much they really can appeal the Ripple case, because they've either lost or backed out of most of the charges. Coinbase seems like it might be able to get out of its case pretty soon. They're fighting tooth and nail to get the whole thing thrown out, because the SEC has a pretty sour reputation with the courts right now. And Larry Fink is coming out saying that there is a flight to quality going on away from the rest of the market into, I can't remember if he said bonds or treasuries. I think either one. I think he actually may have meant both, gold and crypto. Now, he probably meant Bitcoin, but as you may know, he's not allowed to say Bitcoin because there's currently a Bitcoin ETF in application. So he can't speak on that because he is a large enough figure that he has the ability to move the market. So he probably meant Bitcoin. So there's a flight to quality away from what? Away from, frankly, more traditional and more risky assets, and a flight to quality towards what? The other assets that he listed: treasuries, gold, and crypto? Wait a minute. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is risky, right? Crypto. What gives? Well, again, I think he meant Bitcoin, not necessarily so much crypto. I think he meant Bitcoin. He did say crypto. I think he meant mostly Bitcoin. There's a flight to quality away from riskier assets that people are not as sure about, to gold, which is the area that you typically go when you're trying to hedge against inflation, hedge your bets against a risky market. Treasuries, which are considered the zero risk investment. And I'm just going to say Bitcoin because I think that's what he meant. He's lumping Bitcoin in with the risk off assets from a traditional investor's point of view. That is groundbreaking. The phrase flight to quality away from the traditional markets, the riskier markets, to gold, treasuries, and Bitcoin indicates that Larry Fink, again, I would say literally the most powerful man on the planet financially speaking, indicates that he, the thought leader of finance everywhere, believes that Bitcoin now is a risk-off venture. We have been shouting from the rooftops for a decade That's what Bitcoin is, and that will eventually be Bitcoin's strong suit. That people will be leaving riskier bets to go into Bitcoin because Bitcoin has longevity. Bitcoin has immutable principles. When was the last time that you invested in a stock, you invested in a company, you invested in a commodity where its underlying value principle would not, could not, was impossible to change? When was the last time that you invested in an asset, be it a commodity, whether it be corn futures, you can't invest in that, but bought some kind of stock for a company that grows corn? When was the last time you bought a stock for a company that makes widgets, that makes iPhones, Apple? When was the last time you made an investment in a company or an asset or a commodity or security or a real estate investment or whatever that its underlying value principle cannot change? You've never done that before. I guarantee you have never, ever invested in anything with your money that cannot change. You've never done it. You have never once done it. Even gold. I hear some of the gold bugs. I hear Peter Schiff out here. I'm gonna talk about him in a second, how dumb he's being, and I'm using his words, so I don't feel too bad about saying it. Sorry, I take that back. He's stupid. So Peter Schiff is being stupid right now. Again, using his words, so we'll just let him eat that. But when was the last time that you invested in an asset that cannot change? You've never done it. You've never done it with gold. And again, I hear the people saying, oh, but what about gold? Gold changes. It gets mined. Sometimes a new technological breakthrough happens and it gets used for computer chips. Sometimes a ton of gold gets lost because everybody throws away their iPhone and it doesn't get recycled and the gold gets taken out of circulation. Sometimes you have countries move onto or away from the gold standard. Sometimes you have a massive deposit of gold be discovered. In 50 or 100 years, you might have space mining and you'll have the market completely flooded with the stuff. It does change. Changes a lot less than anything else. And guess what property that has brought about? Continual price appreciation for 6,000 years. Without Bitcoin, it is the thing that changes the absolute least. So that's good. That's why gold has value, and it probably will continue to have value. But that's why Bitcoin is the next generation of gold, because it takes that principle of a value property that will never cease to be unvaluable, hedging inflation, and it brings it digitally and guarantees that it cannot change no matter what happens to the mining industry, no matter what happens to a war-torn country in a far-off region where most of the gold is being mined. Will never change. And so with that topic in mind, I do want to address a few things that Peter Schiff has said. Again, I said stupid. I think he meant dumb. Let's see. Yeah, he said dumb. I'm sorry. So we'll just use his own words against him here. Not against him. I don't hate Peter Schiff. If you don't know, Peter Schiff is a big gold guy and he hates Bitcoin. Patrick Bet-David tried to debate him and he's like, I'll only come if you take me on a private jet. And he's like, wait, what? Huh? You'll only come to my office and do an interview if you fly me in on a private jet? Peter Schiff said, I wonder if you can see more about that in Patrick Bet-David's interview with Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor's also been on this channel. You can see our interview with him up on the channel. I wonder who all the Bitcoin speculators think will be dumb enough to actually buy the hashtag Bitcoin ETF, especially after the price was pumped up so much purely on the anticipation of people being dumb enough to buy it. I was busy and waited too long to read this tweet, so by the time I noticed the typo, it was too late to edit, whatever. So who will be dumb enough to actually buy Bitcoin? I've just got to ask Peter Schiff, how dumb are you to have not bought Bitcoin? Look, not trying to revile against him, not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, what kind of dumb mistake was it for you not to buy Bitcoin 5, 6, 7 years ago when you started talking about it? Because here's the deal, Peter Schiff. You would have made a whole lot more money in Bitcoin than in gold. And there's still plenty of room to go on Bitcoin because Bitcoin doesn't hold a candle yet to gold's market cap. Gold is the outdated version. Gold is Windows XP. It's great, but it's outdated. There's a new kid on the block. It's going to replace it. Adoption may take time, but it'll happen. Why? Because it's new. Because it's better. Because it's new and improved. It's new and improved gold. You don't have to put it on a plane and fly it over hostile airspace and risk getting shot down because you're the Russians and you've got nothing else to transact in. You have the ability to send it nearly instantaneously, virtually for free, and ensure that it is completely unhackable and you can store the keys in your brain. When was the last time that you could buy something and store the value in your brain? other than an education, which is one of the reasons I am always advocating for an education, other than faith in God. Those are the two things that I think you should invest in alongside Bitcoin, because they cannot be taken from you. Everything else can be taken from you because it's physical, tangible property. Bitcoin does not have to be. You can store it as a private key in your brain. You can come up with a mnemonic and remember the private keys and delete them everywhere else. And the only way to steal them is by putting a gun to your head and trying to convince you to tell. But you don't have to. That is the first time in the history of mankind that that can be done. That is revolutionary. And to not see that Bitcoin is revolutionary, I would go so far as to say is dumb. Or it's ignorant. But the issue is here that Peter Schiff is not ignorant. He knows enough about Bitcoin to know that it is valuable. And one of the reasons that he knows it's valuable is because he knows that if he talks about it enough, he will get enough attention, and he'll get on Coffee and Crypto, and I'll talk about him right here. I do feel bad for Peter Schiff, because to use a phrase that I think is misused very often, I think he's on the wrong side of history, and I think that he's going to regret it. I think Gary Gensler is on the quote-unquote wrong side of history. I think he's going to regret it. I'm not saying that to bash those individuals. I'm saying that because I do mourn for the mistake that they're making of not getting on the train that is Bitcoin. Philly Skills 1428 is in chat, said, "What up, Jeb? What is up, my friend?" Josh Hobbs in chat said, "Not currency. Ripple case was 100 billion from all sides." Whew. Sheesh. Guess who won? That's right. Ripple did. Zeke Z said, "Started here with Jeb and the first cohort in 2019. Dang, you have kids now. Wild." Thank you, Zeke Z. I've got 2 of them, and I am the happiest man alive. It's been a great day. I'll tell you what, there's been some up days, there's been some down days, but this is an up day, and I am always very, very, very happy to say that I love my children, and I love my wife, and I love what you guys are doing here for the channel. Thank you for tuning in. 2E Enterprise asked a great question, asked how to turn on Lux Algo's trend catcher. We jump on over to the chart, come up here, grab your Lux Algo, settings, inputs, boom, it's right there, indicator overlay. There are plenty of other indicators in here, and when I get time, I do want to start talking about those other indicators and make tutorials on the other indicators. I want to start teaching you guys about the sharing with you guys about the updates to Lux Algo. I think I'm going to start a series when an update comes out. I'm going to make a video on it to Lux Algo, because there is a lot in here that I don't talk about as much as I'd like to. Even the reversal zones, we're just so you know, we're massively above the reversal zones right now. That's how you turn on all of those. So you can see that right there. One thing I will mention is that Bitcoin is in the highest level on Lux Algo's reversal zones that we have ever seen this year. We actually opened above the reversal zone. So this is wild, the amount of bullishness we're seeing on Bitcoin right now. And it does indicate either one, that the bulls are at their strongest point all year, which is true. So we know that's the case. But it also indicates that a reversal or correction could be happening anytime now. Look, it's possible Bitcoin just keeps on rallying here. Never underestimate the power of FOMO. There's a lot of FOMO in the market right now. But also, never get so caught up in the FOMO that you make a mistake. Let me put it this way. If you are whitewater rafting, show of hands, who has ever been whitewater rafting? It's so much fun. So much fun. Just because the river is wild and out of control doesn't mean that you should be wild and out of control. Because if you are wild and out of control while you're riding on that river, you are going to be in that river and you are going to be no more. In cryptocurrency, just because the river, i.e. the market, is wild and out of control with FOMO, does not mean that you should be wild and out of control with FOMO, because then you will get run up against the rocks the same way the other people that are making the market wild and out of control will be. So make sure that you always have your emotions under control. If you are feeling like your emotions are going to dictate your actions, then you need to step out of the market for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 days, 10 days, whatever it takes to get your emotions back under control. I'm not telling you that you can't be excited while you're trading. I am saying that if you believe that your emotions are coloring your investment and trading decisions, that's when you need to take a pause, no matter what is going on. Peter Sniff is crying on the inside. It's why he feels he must attack Bitcoin. He knows Bitcoin hurt his credibility and thus his ego. You know, there have been many times in my career, there have been many times in my life personally that I've made a dumb mistake. And I'll tell you what, there is so much peace about just admitting it, saying, look, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I'm going to do better. And then moving on, you end up feeling much better about yourself. You know why? Because the burden of the sin or the mistake or the foolishness, whatever it is off your shoulders. And you can say, look, that was me. That's not me. That was me. And you can stand on the outside and say, I don't live with that anymore because I've moved on. I've repented of that. I have changed. And Peter Schiff would feel much better about himself if he just went ahead and did it, because it's going to feel a lot worse if he does it in 10 years from now and he missed out on the majority of the rally that Bitcoin's ever going to go through. Because one day Bitcoin will be at $250,000 and it will be appreciating at 8, 10, 12, 15% a year rather than 80, 100, 150% a year. Eventually, we'll get to that point of stable growth, and you will have missed out on much of the early movements. Time to buy the alts. Let's speak on the alts for just a second before we wrap it out here. Right now, the altcoins are doing very well. If you'll remember, we talked about extensively how Bitcoin acts a little bit like a tsunami. During the beginning of the bull market, it will suck the life out of the altcoins in the same way the tsunami will suck the water out of the shore. And that water pulling out of the altcoins builds into this massive Bitcoin tidal wave that inundates the coast. And then all that water is brought back to the low-lying areas, the coastal areas, the altcoins, and puts more water there than was there before. And that's what Bitcoin is doing right now. It's sucking the water out of the altcoins, sucking the life out of the altcoins so that it can go on such a massive run that it could fertilize the altcoins far better than it ever could before without doing that. Bitcoin's dominance is at a multi-year high right now. It's at 53%. And that has come at the expense of many of the altcoins. But if you'll notice, even though Bitcoin's market dominance is going up, meaning it's rallying faster than the altcoins are also rallying. Ethereum's up 8% in the last 24 hours, 15% in the last 7 days. XRP is up to 57 cents, 17% in the last 7 days. Solana up 33%, Cardano up 17%, Dogecoin is up, Chainlink is up 40%, Polygon up 24%. All of these altcoins are doing exceptionally well. And they might not be keeping up with Bitcoin, but they are doing a great job, especially Chainlink. So shout out to Chainlink. The alt season is not upon us yet, but it will be. And when that occurs, we will be able to make quite a lot of money from those alts. Rick4962 is in chat. ADA prediction. My prediction on ADA has been $10 by the end of the decade. I made that prediction 3 years ago. There are times that I've doubted whether that's going to happen or not, but I stand by it. So long as Cardano can actually deliver and the bull market comes back and Bitcoin retains a lot of the adoption that it will gain during that bull market, I think a $10 Cardano by the end of the decade is absolutely possible. People think I'm crazy for that, but I'm going to be honest, so long as Cardano is continuing to develop, so long as Cardano is continuing to make strides, which I would like to see more of that than I've seen over the last year, but if it continues to do that and continues moving, then I do believe that you can make a lot of money in Cardano. Freedom Advocates in chat said, I'm holding ADA and DOT. I wouldn't sleep on Bitcoin. If any of you guys don't have Bitcoin, I would encourage you to ensure having some of that. Now, I want to kind of wrap out with just a last little point on financial sovereignty. If you guys don't know, financial sovereignty is the whole point of this channel. That's what I'm trying to help you achieve. Financial sovereignty is the state of being in control of your finances, that they not control you. I believe that you guys, have the ability to make a lot of money in the cryptocurrency market and use that to fulfill whatever it is that you are called to do in your life. But to do that, you have to be in control of your finances. And to become in control of your finances, you have to do certain things. You have to have a budget. You have to get rid of a bunch of your debt. You have to get rid of a bunch of frivolous expenses that you don't need. You need to put yourself in a position where you are in control of your money and you are able to grow it every single month through a wealth building fund. And so if you're interested in learning more about personal finances and how to actually make a lot of money there, I do offer coaching on that. You can check the link in the description box down below. But if you want to continue to watch the channel here, one of the things I'll tell you is that my basic theory for what you could take away in 60 seconds to change your life financially is this. You need to figure out how much money you have coming in every month. You need to figure out how much money goes out every month in a mandatory sense. We're talking about minimum debt payments, not adding on to debt payment, minimum debt payments, housing payment, car payment, childcare payment, babysitting payment, whatever, groceries. If you have to have a clothing budget, put that in your needs. Subtract your income from your needs. I'm talking literal needs. I'm not talking Starbucks. I'm talking needs. I'm talking about groceries. I'm not talking about eating out. Eating out is entertainment. Groceries are food. There's a difference. Eating out, you're paying somebody else to cook and clean for you. Take that difference. You have a discretionary budget now. Put it in 3 categories. Your wants, the things you want to do. Your date nights, your travel, your buying a new Xbox, whatever. Make a budget. That is your wealth building fund. This is for savings. We have a savings account with CIT Bank right now. They pay 4.927 annually on a savings account. So I can withdraw at any time. We make money every single month because we've got a bunch of money sitting over there, and that generates an income and grows our savings. So make sure you have savings. Emergency fund. Then you have the paying off debt. So pay off debt. Get rid of your debt. Get rid of everything down to your mortgage and then work on that slowly but surely. And then put money into dollar cost averaging into what? Stock market and crypto. Stock market through a Roth IRA or a 401k with a match. 401k with a match first. And then investing into Bitcoin and some cryptocurrencies every single month. And then from there, you'll also have a generosity budget because I want you to be generous. You want to be generous. You'll be much better off if you are generous. Have a budget every month that you've got some money that you can be generous. Whether you tithe that, whether you give that to a family member in need, whether you use that to buy some dude on the street a burrito because he seems like he's really trying and he just needs a hand. Whatever it is, you have those 3 budgets. So again, 5 categories: income, needs, wants, wealth generation fund, generosity. Subtract your needs from your income, then you've got discretionary budget. What's left over? Break it up into those 3 categories. Percentage it out. All right, I'm putting 60% of my wealth building. I'm single. I'm not, but you might be single. I've got basically, I'm like this one guy that'll work 120 hours a week and have no life for the next 2 years. I'm going to put 80% of it into the wealth building fund. I'll pay off all my debt, buy a bunch of crypto, buy a bunch of stocks in the Roth IRA. I'm going to build financial sovereignty. If you guys do what I just showed you, you will build financial sovereignty. The reason I talk about that on a crypto channel, not a personal finance channel, is very simply, I have seen so many people in cryptocurrency trying to get rich because they bought one altcoin and they fail miserably because their introduction to building wealth in the 21st century is buy this altcoin. I'm going to go get on in SafeMoon because it will moon safely. I bought the hype. That's not how you build wealth. No one builds and keeps wealth by making a lot of money only. You've got to do that too. But you build and keep wealth by being a good steward of it. Those who have the ability to seduce money to coming to them and then keep the money by being a good husband or wife to it, those are the ones that actually are able to build wealth. How do you have a good marriage? Be attractive, do attractive things, be nice, be kind, be a godly individual, and you'll attract an individual. To keep that person, you better be good at managing and stewarding that relationship. Same thing with money. Money's less important, but you need to be able to attract it to you by being good at making it, and you need to be good to it so that you can keep it. And the way you do that is by being a good steward of it. I've watched so many people try and treat money like it's online speed dating, and they want to have one day with it and then leave it and then never see it again. You're going to bring 40 grand into your checking account, and then you're going to spend 40 grand, and you're going to go back to being broke. I want you to have financial sovereignty for the rest of your life, so be a good steward of it. All right. Let's just take my, I'll use my Tangem wallet thing. I'll just take my soapbox and I'll put it over here. The Dave Ramsey came out of me. If you didn't know, I was born across the street from Dave Ramsey. Be a man. Get yourself some financial sovereignty. Got to bring out my southern accent. I said I was born across the street from him. That's just about true. I looked it up this morning. I was born 38 miles from where he was born. Very interesting. Probably why we talk and think alike on some things. Not on everything. I don't agree with him on everything, but on some things. All right. We're running over time here, but I appreciate all of you tuning in. Josh Hobbs is in chat, said hashtag FinSov. Tui Enterprises said hashtag FinSov. Chris Toby is in chat, said amen. Queen said hashtag FinSov. Petro, Cars, and Crypto is in chat. Dropping the emojis. What graph can you see? From which graph can you see when altcoin season starts? Great question. That would be none other than the total 2. Total 2 is the cryptocurrency market excluding Bitcoin. Market capitalization excluding Bitcoin. So essentially, this is the altcoin market. You can go to total 3 as well. Total is everything with Bitcoin included. That is doing well right now, by the way. It's at $1.25 trillion. I'll talk about that in probably tomorrow's stream. Total 3 is everything excluding Bitcoin and ETH. So this is truly the altcoins. This is everything, because a lot of people don't really consider ETH to be an altcoin because it's so ingrained. But total 2 is technically the altcoins. So when an alt season starts, you're going to see... Excuse me, I apologize. Like I said, I'm very sick right now. You're going to see total 2 break above this graph right here and go into a major rally. And when that occurs, then you will know that we're in the alt season. There you go. You got questions? I got answers. Let's have them coming. Matanya Holmes in chat said, popped in. Good to see you. Johnny John said, amen, brother. Thank you. Queen's in chat. Couple of things I want you to do. First and foremost, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We got content coming out every day, making a stream, a video, and a short every day right now, doing wonders for the channel. Channel is seeing record viewership, and we've almost got the subscriber growth thing turned around. I want to share with you guys a little bit on the channel. As you know, I've told you before, let me pull this up, make sure I don't show the wrong thing on here. But as I told you before, the subscriber growth on the channel, as you can see right here, has been negative. We've been losing some subscribers. You guys have seen this. I've shown you this. The subscriber growth had been going down. And the reason for that, I don't remember where it is in the analytics, but the reason for that was quite simply that about 40% of the subscriber loss were channels being shut down. YouTube was literally deleting YouTube channels left, right, and sideways because, you know, the channel's been around for 6 years. That typically happens when you have a channel as old as ours. You have subscribers, where the accounts get shut down. Let's see. I'm looking for it so I can show you what I'm talking about. But the channels that are subscribed get shut down. They just cease to exist because they haven't been used in 5 years or whatever. And then there's also, of course, other subscribers that have left the cryptocurrency space, and so they've been leaving the channel. So we've been noticing some subscriber loss. We've lost several thousand subscribers this year. But I'm so excited because with all the content that we've been doing, we've almost turned it around. We're so close to jumping into positive subscriber growth, and I want to see 250,000 subs. So if you know somebody that wants to learn about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, financial sovereignty, and they're still interested in crypto, and they're interested in crypto because of what's going on here, this is the channel to bring them to. Let's get that turned around. Let's become the fastest growing channel in crypto again. We used to be the fastest growing channel in crypto, and then we grew to everybody that was going to subscribe, and so we paused the growth during the bear market. But we are making over 15 pieces of content a week on this channel because I believe that if I come here every day, show up, give my best, and share with you guys the principles and tenets of financial sovereignty, then you and I will be more wealthy for it. And I am excited to be on that journey with you, and I promise you that I will continue to remain as authentic as I possibly can. I will continue to do my research so I can be as educated as I possibly can be, and I will continue to work very hard to try and not be as long-winded, although it works well for live streams, so that you guys can get the point as quickly and concisely as possible, because I want you guys to grow. Matanya Holmes said, loving the advice. Thank you very much. Subscriber consolidation broke through resistance. It sure did. Check it out. I love bringing you guys in on this. Most YouTubers would not show this because they'd be ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it, guys. Look, I wish I had been making even more content over the last year, but now we're here. We're here. We're doing it now. Check this out. Been dropping on subscribers. Again, bunch of channels getting closed down. Bunch of people left crypto. This is the exact same trend that every single channel in crypto is on right now. Just by the way, pretty much every single channel is doing this. If you look over at George's channel, he's like jumping up between 666 and 667. But he's starting to grow now too because the market's turning around. Every single YouTuber is experiencing this that has a channel that's been around for since the beginning of the last bull market. Been losing subscribers last 28 days. We're almost popping back up into growth. Very exciting. If you look at the lifetime here, we've jumped up here and we've been sitting up here at 220 to 230 for a while. Been dropping a little bit, but we're about to turn that around and we're about to go through the next big run. I'd love to see 500K subscribers, even 1 million by the end of the bull market, and I think that it can happen. My notifications are broken for your channel, Freddie said. Yeah, because YouTube screwed us over. So go ahead. What you can do, Freddie, you can unsubscribe, resubscribe, turn the bell back on, and it should work. And just watch a few of the videos, and YouTube will get the point that you're trying to see the content. Playman Alexiev said, you're the best, Jeb. Thanks for all you do. For all heart. Appreciate you guys very much. Thank you so much. Paper hands always dissolve in the rain. That's right. BTC to the moon. Let's see if I can come up with some parting wisdom to share with you guys here. Ray said, not to mention your team kind of too soon? Question mark. Yeah, I'm not listen, what happened was very unfortunate. I have no hard feelings against anybody. There were some very large mistakes made on everybody's part, including my own. And we've chosen to keep that private, all of the details of that, because none of it makes anybody look good, because everybody made mistakes. And I'm sure that Tim and the rest of the team would admit that, at least to a lot of it. And so as far as the previous team, I do wish them the best. Definitely don't agree with everything that happened. Definitely wish that some of the things that did happen had not have happened. But I also understand that I am supposed to be a man that ran a company, and I did not do the very best job that I could have. I cannot look back on the period where we had a lot more employees and say, yep, I did absolutely everything right and I've got no regrets. I can't do that. And truthfully, you almost never will be able to do that in life. But, you know, my wife is in school right now. She's probably watching right now. So shout out to you, Sarah. I love you. She's in school right now, last semester before she gets her degree. I'm so excited. I'm her biggest cheerleader, man. I'm so excited. And one day she was just not feeling well. She's like, I don't know if I should go into class today. I could, but I don't know if I should. And I'm like, Sarah, listen, this is your last class. And I want you, when you finish that class, to be able to say, pass or fail, that I gave it everything I had. And I left nothing on the table. Because even if you fail at that point, you can say, at least I gave it my all. And she went to class, and she was glad she did. And she, to this moment, can say, look, I gave it everything I have on this class. Pass or fail, I gave it everything I got. And even if she didn't pass the class, which she's going to, she's on a great track to do it. But even if she didn't, she'd be able to say, look, I gave it everything I had. And that's the best I can do. That's why people love the movie Rocky. You ever seen the movie Rocky? Why do we love Rocky? Rocky Balboa lost. Doesn't the culture teach us to love the winners? It's a horrible thing to teach. But doesn't the culture teach us to love the winners? Why do we love Rocky? Because that man gave it everything he had, and he left nothing in that ring. Nothing is what he left in that ring. He gave it everything he had, and win or lose, he gave it every last drop. And that's how I want to live my life, and that's how you ought to live your life. So, I suppose to meet the requirement of what I just said, coming up with a final piece of parting advice, live life like that. Live life the way my wife is doing her final class so she can get her degree that she's been working very hard for. To show her children it can be done. To show our children it can be done. Live like Rocky in that regard. Give it everything you have and leave nothing on the table. Because one day you will reach the end of the race and you will no longer have the ability to give it everything you have. You will only be able to look back and question whether you did give it everything you have. Did you leave some in the tank? Not saying that you shouldn't rest. I'm not saying that you shouldn't take time off of work. You can very easily become a workaholic and not give anything to your family. That's a problem too. But in your life, in the appropriate way, being a good steward of what you've been entrusted with, have you given it everything you have? I'll tell you right now, I'm sick as a dog right now, and I'm here because I physically can be. My son's sick. Said, stay home, watch some TV. You're 3, right? I walked out and said, man, wish I could sit on the couch and watch TV. This is a true story. This morning. Wish I could sit on the couch and watch some TV. I got work to do. I'm here because there have been plenty of times in my life that I did not give it everything I had. And I got to look back and say, yeah, I did a pretty good job, but I didn't give it every single thing I had. And I don't want to live like that because nobody ever built anything great like that. Nobody ever got to the end of the race and was told, well done, my good and faithful servant, by giving it 80%. So my final parting advice to you is that a bull market's coming. Don't leave anything in the tank. And that will be part, not all, but that will be part of where you find satisfaction in what you do. Justin Eubanks in chat. The Normal Austin in chat. Cleo is in chat. Let's go Bitcoin to the moon. We are on our way to the moon. We have entered the anti-gravity phase. Looked like the Millennium Falcon taking off. All right, guys. If you enjoyed today's stream, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, sign up for Lux Algo, use coupon code JEB30, JEBB, 30% off at checkout. You're going to be glad you did. Guarantee it. And if not, I think they have a 30-day refund policy on the yeah, they do, actually. So check that out. If you're interested in financial coaching and learning more about how to become successful with your wealth, you can check out financial coaching. I have a link for that down below. Love doing that. One of my favorite things to do is talking to you guys individually and helping you build your wealth. Love doing that so much. And also check out Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis. Stay on the lookout because Jeb's Oversimplified Crypto Survival Guide is coming. It's a bit of a mouthful, but so is CT2A. I love that name, and I'm so excited to share that course with you guys. Got a lot of the videos written, got a lot more to write. I love bringing you guys in on what we're doing here, and I'm just dilly-dallying because I love the stream. I got to wrap it out. Before I go, guys, if you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.